We do start our show, though, with unfortunate news out of the WNBA. Caitlin Clark announced today that she will miss both the three-point contest and the WNBA All-Star Game this upcoming weekend in Indiana after re-aggravating a groin injury in that final minute of Tuesday's win over the Connecticut Sun. Clark had missed 4 games and the Commissioner's Cup final with that groin injury earlier this month, and now will be out for this weekend's festivities, which really stinks for fans, but you know that if there was any way that she could be out.
Adam Silver is facing a major concern after the WNBA's biggest star announced she's pulling out of the All-Star Game due to another injury at the worst possible time. With collective bargaining talks collapsing and the threat of a lockout looming, Caitlin Clark's absence from the league's marquee weekend has sparked serious discussions at the top. This isn't just about one game, it's about the long-term stability of the league. On Thursday, Clark revealed she won't compete in the All-Star Game or the three-point contest after aggravating a right groin injury. The timing is critical, as these developments are unfolding right in the middle of CBA negotiations that could determine the future of the WNBA, including whether there's even a 2026 season.
I'll leave the specific question about the foul to my colleague, Commissioner Engelbert. I mean, other than as a fan, obviously, you know, it's nothing new in basketball that there's sort of welcome to the league moments, especially for heralded rookies. But of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly.
Adam Silver has publicly said, "Of course, I want to see Caitlin treated fairly and appropriately in the league." Now, watching the WNBA's biggest star miss its flagship event due to questionable injury management is likely setting off major alarms. When the commissioner of a partner league openly voices concerns about how a player is being handled, it's not just a casual comment, it's a clear warning signal. Timing of Caitlin Clark's injury announcement couldn't be worse. For the WNBA, and it's time to hold leadership accountable for this situation, Commissioner Cathy Engelbert has consistently failed to protect the league's most valuable player, and that failure is now front and center. Even veteran sports columnist Christine Brennan has called out Engelbert, pointing out how she often struggles to speak directly about Caitlin Clark. When asked about Clark, Engelbert frequently pivots the conversation to other players like Angel Reese. But the question wasn't about Angel, it was about Caitlin, and that avoidance is becoming impossible to ignore.
There she would be. Shortly before the show, Clark released this statement through the Fever's social media account saying that she's so excited for Indiana to host WNBA All-Star this weekend, and that she says she knows that this is going to be the best All-Star yet. But she does go on to say how incredibly sad and, quote, disappointed she will be to not be able to participate, adding, quote, "I have to rest my body. I'll still be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse for all of the action. I'm looking forward to helping Sandy coach our team."
This is the commissioner tasked with promoting the league's biggest star, yet she can't even mention Caitlin Clark's name without shifting the focus to other players. That's not leadership, that's a failure of responsibility at the highest level. The viewership numbers reveal the harsh reality of Clark's absence. Since her injury, nationally televised WNBA games have seen a staggering 55% drop in viewership. Indiana Fever national broadcasts alone fell from an average of 1.81 million viewers before her injury to just 847,000 afterward, a 53% decline, representing millions in lost revenue. And yet, Cathy Engelbert continues to downplay the problem as if everything is fine. Now let's address the officiating disaster that contributed to this situation. According to kinesiologist Dr. Lucas Seehofer, there have been 141 player injuries since opening day. Considering there are only 179 active players in the league, and teams have played just 44 games each, that's an alarming statistic that should have Engelbert demanding urgent reforms. Instead, her response has been as soft as silk, offering no meaningful action to confront this growing crisis. The officiating in the WNBA has become so problematic that even league legends are speaking out. During a live broadcast, Hall of Famer Rebecca Lobo openly criticized officials, pointing out, "There's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean, all of those are fouls. Every single one of them. And then here, that's it, foul. That's a foul." This came as Caitlin Clark endured repeated contact without calls. When respected figures like Lobo publicly call out officiating on national television, it's not just about missed whistles, it signals a systemic failure. Even Clark's own coach has been forced to address the issue. Indiana Fever head coach Stephanie White didn't hold back, saying, "I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. The disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable." When coaches use words like egregious and disrespect, that's not ordinary competitive frustration. It's a direct indictment of how the league is managing fairness and player safety.
In terms of the comments, in terms of the way the commissioner, Kathy Engelbert, who I've known and I like, the way she has trouble talking about Caitlin Clark, or if she's asked about Caitlin, then she will say, well, Caitlin and Angel. Well, she wasn't asked about Angel, she was asked about Caitlin. This incredible inability to deal with the facts and to state the obvious. It is astounding to me how Kathy Engelbert doesn't come out after the Marina Mabry hit and say that's unacceptable. The refs got it wrong. Okay, should have been kicked out then. You weren't.
The most serious criticism of the officiating came after the Connecticut Sun game, where Caitlin Clark was once again the target of relentless contact. Following the game, Indiana Fever coach Stephanie White delivered a blunt assessment, saying, "Everybody's getting better, except the officials." In a multi-minute post-game statement, White accused the referees of losing control of the game, and took aim at the league and its officiating staff for failing to evolve. It wasn't just a critique of one night, it was a broader condemnation of the system's inability to protect players and maintain fairness on the court.
The ball handler, there's a grab, there's a hold, there's another grab. I mean, all of those are fouls. Every single one of them. And here, that's a foul, and finally they call.
White continued, "Every year during our league meetings in the fall and spring, we bring up the same issues over and over, and nothing changes." Her words highlighted a deeper frustration, not just with a single game, but with a pattern of repeated concerns being ignored by league leadership.
Who is played 9 years in Indiana and now on the staff. And that's a live shot now.
That's a head coach openly admitting that the league has been aware of officiating problems for years and has done nothing to address them. Under Kathy Engelbert's leadership, the quality of officiating has declined, even as the league has grown in popularity and importance. The specific moments that contributed to Caitlin Clark's current injury aren't random, they're textbook examples of what happens when a league ignores its own warning signs.
The game is fast now. Things are happening quickly. Everybody's getting better, except the officials. So we got to find a way to remedy it. I mean, you've heard every coach talk about it, so I don't know what the answer is.
That you guys as an organization are doing. I mean, you're speaking out at this point, but anything more that you are doing or you hope to do to engage in the league and addressing these issues with the officiating that you've been very vocal with?
No, I mean, I think every year when we have our league meetings in the fall and in the spring, we say the same thing over and over and over. And nothing
Marina Mabry shoved Caitlin Clark to the ground after a dead ballin' incident that initially drew only a technical foul until the WNBA, facing public backlash, was forced to upgrade it to a flagrant 2. The officials failed to make the right call in real time and only corrected it after widespread embarrassment. Even Clark's brother Colin voiced frustration on social media, saying, "Make no mistake, this is on the refereeing." After watching his sister get injured due to poor game management, when family members publicly call out officiating, it's not just emotion, it's a direct accusation that the league is failing to protect its players. Kathy Engelbert's response has been disappointing at best. When asked about the officiating controversy, Engelbert replied, "I do find it interesting when you sit in the chair I sit in that no winning team ever complains about officiating. No losing team ever doesn't complain about officiating. That's not leadership, that's dismissive arrogance from someone unwilling to confront a growing crisis." The business consequences of this failure are staggering. In 2024, the WNBA saw 23 games surpass 1 million viewers, and Caitlin Clark was involved in all but 3 of them. On the list of this season's most watched games, you have to go down to number 15 to find the first game without the Fever. Clark is literally carrying the league's viewership, yet the league cannot even keep her safe on the court. The financial impact is massive. ESPN reported a 170% increase in WNBA TV ratings this year, jumping from an average of 454,000 viewers to over 1.2 million, while ION saw a 133% rise compared to 2023. Clark is the driving force behind this growth, and Engelbert's inability to protect her is putting hundreds of millions of dollars in future revenue at risk. The pattern of dangerous play and missed calls has persisted all season. In Tuesday's game between the Fever and the Sun, officials issued 5 technical fouls, ejected 3 players, called 2 flagrant fouls, and still failed to keep the game under control. This wasn't one bad moment, it was an entire game, spiraling because referees have been allowed to operate without proper oversight. The sports betting market reflects the same concern. Betting activity on Fever games dropped nearly 50%. Within a week of Clark's injury, when betting markets instantly react to one player's absence, it underscores just how much revenue the league loses when Clark isn't on the court. Adam Silver's concerns about Clark's treatment extend far beyond player safety. He's acknowledged that Clark's impact is transformative for women's basketball, but has also signaled worry over how she's being managed. That's not just commentary, that's a diplomatic warning. Fix this problem before it gets worse. And to be clear, the officiating issues go far beyond just Clark. Even veteran players like Kelsey Plum have reached their breaking point. Launching into public tirades over the lack of control on the court, the WNBA is at a crossroads, and ignoring these warnings could cost the league far more than just a few missed calls.